Hey guys, sorry it's been a while. We've been super busy trying to keep stuff going, and I just haven't had time to do the videos for you. But we're raking some hay ground today. This is some of that stuff that was rye before, and we seeded it down. Trying to get some hay established, and I'm not sure what's going on with this hill. I don't think the hay really took hold. The other fields, same stuff, you know, it was rye before, and we seeded hay on top of the rye this spring. They look a lot better than this one does. This one's got a little bit of clover coming up here, but pretty much nothing else. I mean, very sporadic spots of clover coming up, and mostly this was some weeds with a whole bunch of foxtail. Yeah, well, what the heck, you know, we'll get it cleaned off once, get it mowed. The foxtail was really just baby style heads on them, and the cows really like foxtail, so that, well, what the heck, you know, we'll go ahead and we'll bail that off. So if there is anything in there, alfalfa or clover, it will hopefully hopefully take off and start coming out. But it is awful late, but it don't seem to matter. The foxtail doesn't care what time of year it is, it'll grow. So as far as that goes, the foxtail is, I mean, decently thick back there. You can see the kind of windrows we got. I got the little rake on today just because it's here and close, and I didn't want to drive all the way in and get the other rake. So anyway, we're just gonna make a little cow hay, and they'll be happy with it. This rake is it's kind of, I don't know, it's a good rake, I guess, but when I first bought it, the wings were hydraulically tied together, so one remote would lift both wings, but I wanted to be able to lift one wing at a time. So I set an extra couple hoses through there. It's really pretty handy for that, especially if, you know, when you're out, you know, you're trying to catch good sun days between rains, and you just missed it. Your hay's a little damp because they got a little rain overnight. This rake's really handy. You know, you already got your windrows set up, and it rained on them. You can lay this rake out with one wing down. You can go through and flip that windrow over, just perfectly lay it right over. It's really handy for that. Here, let me flip this around here. You can see what I'm seeing. Pretty much just foxtail here. There's a few spots here and there where, you know, up here, there's definitely some clover coming there, but just not a very good standout. I don't know what happened. The hillside on the other side of the trees there has got a really nice stand of alfalfa, and it looks pretty good. Now the hillside over there on the other side of the river, it's got a whole lot of alfalfa and clover and all kinds of good stuff in there. Same stuff, you know, it was all seeded on top of the rye. I can't understand what the difference is. I'd understand, you know, if we had a complete failure, but see, there's some clover and a little bit of alfalfa. A little bit coming through, but just not enough for me to be happy, I guess. Over there, across there, we didn't do this. We just bat winged it. We had some weeds coming through, and it's along the road, so, you know, I wanted it to look a little nice. So we just went through with the bat wing and clipped it all off so it looked good, and maybe that's the difference. I don't know. But regardless, this will make good cow hay. This is the second time since this is a 1486, the one we bought as a project tractor. Second time it's been put to use. I put the rake on it, oh, what was it, 2 months ago, and I drove her clear down there to the hay field and raked over some of those oats with it, and it did a good job of that. Well, what the heck, that's all right. Can't complain. The air conditioner's ice cold. It's got a good interior in it. I'll show you around here a little bit. Nice western interior in there. All the way around. Got the new headliner and everything in there. The air conditioning system is completely new. When I bought this tractor, the frame and engine and everything did not have any of the AC components on it. The wiring's gone. You know, the pump and the hoses were gone. The condenser up front. I mean, everything was gone. And this cab was not off of this tractor. I don't know what happened to this, you know, why the cab didn't come with it, but this cab was off of a 186 Hydro, but it didn't make much difference. They're the same cab. And it, I mean, I bought them together, but it wasn't off of this tractor, obviously. So when we got to get around putting the air conditioning stuff in it, well, that's no big deal. You know, I'll just buy a pump and the AC compressor and all that stuff and get her stuffed up in there and get some hoses. So, well, heck yeah, it'll work like it's brand new because it's never had one, you know. So I cracked open the cab up top to clean it out and get it ready. Well, shit, there wasn't even a fan or anything. I mean, the whole housing was gone. Well, I guess this has been somebody's parts tractor. Now here I'm gabbing away telling you about the tractor, and the darn wing over there didn't want to go down. Let's go check that out. I'm not really sure what it's doing. I don't see anything broke. Everything's hooked up. Nothing's blocking it. Huh. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, she's a little bit forward from where she usually is, but that shouldn't stop it from going down. It's not binding up. I don't know. Had this rake for several years, and it's always done me a good job, but the kids are awful hard on it. The other one still goes up and down. I don't know, let's try it again. Well, it acts like it's bound up somehow. See, the other one goes up. I don't know. Let's try pulling ahead and turning around. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Okay, let's try turning around, see if that makes any difference. Acts like the remote shut off. See that it ain't, and I ain't been back there to touch it. That thing down there causing it? Where's that? No? Oh, I don't know. Well, we'll get out and check. We'll check it one more time. Make sure it's not something with the hoses. It seems like it's blocked. That's number one. Ah. Okay, I didn't see that a minute ago. Right there. See, somehow she popped out. That guy. I got covered with gunk now. Right on the pants. There we got it. Okay. Now let's go see if it works. Okay, now I'm turning back around. Hey, look at that. She goes right down. I don't know why she came unplugged. Sometimes they do that, though. Sometimes they're just a pain in the butt. Anyway, as I was saying, tractor's got a complete new air conditioning system. And when we charged her up and got the fan, it got everything put in there, oh my goodness, it just made the nicest, coldest air coming out of there. It's just so nice to run now. She's definitely not as smooth as the anteaters are. She's definitely more bumpy. But that is to be expected when you got small two-wheel drive, 16-inch tires on the front versus 38-inch tires like you do on the back, on the front. That makes a big difference on how they're going to ride. Anyway, nice little tractor. Just got a couple more little things here and there before we decide to sell her, I guess. The wife asked me this morning, she says, I thought you were going to sell that tractor. I said, yeah, I know. We're going to sell it. But she still doesn't have a radio. We're going to get a radio put in it. And most of the lights, the front lights, I think, and the flashers work. It doesn't have the ones on the bottom of the cab corners or the ones back here behind the cab, back there on the fenders. It doesn't have those. But it will. It will before we try to sell it. That makes a world of difference on selling something, having everything working and nice. I can just lift one wing up and pull your windows all together, make her look nice. I like to do raking a little different than some guys, and depends on the mower too. I mowed this with the Coon mower that's on the 3-point, and a lot of times guys will just mow like you do in a yard, around and round and round in circles and never back and forth. Well, this field is kind of long and narrow, so I mowed around it 8 or 9 times. I think it was 9 times. Mowed around it 9 times. And then I decided I'd kind of square it up a little bit and make some long windrows right in the middle. That's where you can see right here, this little finger that I raked is kind of a jut out from the rest of it. So I cut that off and I mowed that by itself. And then I came over here in the middle of the field and I cut right up the middle of that and just kind of made an oval cutting out as I went instead of cutting in. Usually the mower's on the inside of your tractor mowing in anyway. But I wanted these windrows kind of going north and south. So when you've got some going this way and some going that way, and when they meet together they leave a bunch of little hard to stay true square on them. So what I do a lot of times on these is I'll go to the middle of the field where all them triangle little points are, and I'll start raking those out and getting bigger and bigger. And that way when I come back, if I did it the regular way, I start on the outside and work my way in. When you get to those center fingers doing it that way, you're constantly running over your other windrows. Where you're doing it like I'm doing it now, see, I'm raking the insides first, all them little fingers, them little triangular points. I don't have to keep running over my windrow. And that makes a difference on how it drives and how the baler picks it up. Now granted, the Vermeer doesn't have much trouble picking up windrows other than picking up the hay that's laying with the teeth. Your teeth are coming around like this, picking the hay up. So if you got grass or alfalfa or whatever laying straight this way, your teeth don't want to pick it up. It's kind of like trying to pick up a spaghetti noodle with a fork that's laying with the way the tines are pointing. It just doesn't work. So by coming in here and getting all these little guys that are, see, some are this way now and some are this way, I'm just going to get these split apart and work my way that direction. That's kind of how they're set up. And this rake is 20 foot wide, so it doesn't quite reach 3 of these swaths. I think they're about 21, 22 foot. Maybe they're a little bigger than that. But anyway, see, I can just about reach all 3 of them because I've got a little bit less here. Here, look. I can get the rest of that one and I can get that one over there, but right there in the middle is what I'm telling you, the baler's going to have trouble picking it up because it's laying with the pickup, the same way the pickup teeth are going to be going. So rather than worry about that, I'm just trying to grab 2 swaths and roll them over onto the dry patch in the middle rather than laying this one on top of that one and that one on top of this one. Then I have a bunch in the middle that's not going to pick up. Now, I don't understand why some people can't figure that out. I do a lot of custom baling, and some guys just can't figure that out. You see, like, take this one for example. If I would have just came right back down right over here and started raking, well then when I do this up here that's off by itself, when I get done with that, I'd have to run over this windrow or that windrow, and I don't like doing that. I like my windrows to stay fluffy and get the air blowing through them. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right down beside this one. I'm going to set that right wing down, and I'm going to start flipping this windrow over. Yeah, I am reaching into that one just a little bit, but that's okay. I'm laying all that grass right on dry ground. If there was a moisture problem, like sometimes you have in the spring, there wouldn't be, because, you know, the ground is wet underneath the windrows, but over here in the spot where there isn't one, the ground's dry. So you're laying all that hay right on dry grass, or dry ground rather. It works good. Now I'm going to set the other windrow, the other wing down right on this side. As I was saying, I do quite a bit of custom baling. One of my main customers, he doesn't have a 3-point mower. He has a one-way mower. I don't know. It's a one-way mower. It goes off to one side of the tractor only. It's tongue drawn. Let's see, I had to run over that one a little bit, but not too bad. I'll just come down here and I'll turn around and get that one. But anyway, his mower only goes on the right side. So when he's got big fields, decently sized fields, 40-acre fields, most of them, he likes to do the same thing, cut right down the middle of them and makes, you know, straight rows instead of going in circles. Well, that's fine. But when he comes back to rake it, he does what everybody does. He starts on the outside and works his way in until he gets to his straight rows. Yeah, that's okay. I don't necessarily like doing that. But then when he gets to his middle ones, he starts on one side of the field and he works his way across. When he gets to these that are all, you know, triangular to each other, he's like, "Hey man, I'm having to run over my other windrows. Can you come get these quick with the baler?" Like, man, why don't you start in the middle? That way you don't have to run over your other windrows. But oh well. I don't complain. I just go out and do it. I can't tell, you know, not everybody's gonna do it the easiest way. Some people are just stuck in their ways. Now see, that field is a triangular piece, and I did it round and around and around like, you know, most people do with a 3-point mower. So what I'm gonna do with that one is I'm going to start over here on one side, not on the end row, not clear on the outside, but almost. I'll probably leave 6 of them, and then I'll just go right up here, and I'll turn around somewhere, whoop, watch the finger. I'll come up the side, and I'll turn around right over here, and I'll go back down. Then I'll have a whole bunch of straight rows going through there, and because they're not all the same way when I go raking it this way, these ones that are over here are going up and down the hill this way. Those aren't going to pose a problem with the baler because the hay is laying against the direction of the pickup. Pickup they coming this way, the hay's laying this way, it'll pick it all up. It won't be a big problem. Back on the little face in the back, just getting the little triangle finished up here. Almost got her all done. I see this one was such a goofy shaped small piece, it didn't make sense to try and do long straight rows. It was actually pretty quick, just go round and round in a circle on it. Now because I'm going across my mow swath with the baler, they won't have any trouble picking up the the in-between, the stuff the rake doesn't touch, the stuff that's right in the middle of the rake. The bather won't have any trouble picking that stuff up. So I can spread out a little bit, just run the rake right just to the edge of the edge of the windrow, so I can pick up everything I can. Done raking. Now we just gotta go get the baler and start rolling her up. 20 acres up here on these 3 little pieces. We should do, I don't know, 30 bales maybe. Whatever it is, it's more than I had before I started, so one way to look at it. And we're off. Making bales. It's a good looking bale. Moisture is good, 17%, just right. The grass has been, no, the grass is definitely not the problem. It's the clover over here. The clover takes an extra day to dry. I mowed this stuff on Friday and today is Monday, so it's been down several days. Saturday was like 92 degrees, stupid hot for September. Today's pretty warm again. Tomorrow's supposed to be pretty warm, but we got some chances of rain coming, so today's the last day we're gonna get, and it's dry enough. And now it's showing 15%, so dry enough. Anything below 18 is gonna keep just as well as anything you could dream of. Now you get above 18 and you start running the risk of having some mold or something else going on from the moisture in there. That's not good. But nice hay. Cows ought to be happy. Well, here's our 20th bale, and we're not quite half done yet. So it's doing better than, well, it's probably doing close to 2 bales an acre up here anyway. The other little field we started in, it's only about 3 acres, and we had 8 in that one. So that's not too bad. I'm not going to complain about that. But it had quite a bit more clover in it than this one. You can see spots out here where there is some clover down in there. There's just, it's not as prevalent as it should be, in my opinion. So I don't know. I guess we'll give it another month and see how it turns out. If it's gonna show up a lot more alfalfa and clover in here than what it looks, we'll leave it alone. And if not, we might have to rip it up and reseed it again in the spring. Working on the last windrow and the big piece here, and we're up to 34 bales. Man, this is doing a lot better than I thought it was going to do, at least initially anyway. No, that over there, I'm guessing there's going to be about 6 or 7, and if that's the case, that'll put us right at 2 bales the acre over here. not too bad. Just a bunch of foxtail. Around this brush pile, that's what the whole field looked like. I didn't mow that because there's some sticks and stuff sticking out of there, and I don't want to get that close to them. So anyway, that's what the whole field looked like, just solid foxtail like that, with some underlying small little spots of clover and such, but nothing really to mount to. All right, let's go hammer down on the last little hillside. About 1.5 acres, I think. No, it's not that small. 2 acres? I don't know. I don't remember what it is. It is what it is. Well, there's the last windrow. You think I made it? Got one up there. One over here. How many do you think I got behind me? 40 of them in there. And there's just a little partial one left. So, yep, we made it. We got 6 bales over here. Pretty amazing. This little hillside made that many bales. Must be bigger than I think. Anyway, there she is. She's all done. 20 acres of not very good new seeding. Mostly foxtail stuff. That other hillside, though, it had a lot of clover in it, so it wasn't so bad. But the clover wasn't the main seed, it was alfalfa, so I don't know what the deal is. But, anyway. I'm just going to run around over here just a little bit and grab a few of those bigger skip spots where the rake didn't get them picked up, kind of like these here in front of me. See if I can't do a little bit more there. And then I think I'm going to get the batwing mower out and clean up these waterways and a little bit around the end down there between us and the corn down south. Get that cleaned up a little bit. I could have mowed that. This was all cleared off just a few years ago, so it's a nice smooth draw through there, but I don't want the erosion coming through in the spring with virtually no grass in there, so we'll leave that stuff in there a little bit, but we're gonna knock her down, just make her a little bit shorter. Anyway, that's it, guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and certainly subscribe, guys. I got more stuff coming up. We haven't got the combine out yet. It's still in the shed, and we're just real close to getting her out. Got to get her checked up and greased and fueled and serviced. Get all the fluids changed again. Make sure we don't have any serious lingering problems. If we do, we'll fix them. I don't remember there being anything seriously wrong with it. I don't know, that was a year ago. Who knows? Oh, anyway, we'll get her checked out. Until then, guys, catch you later.